Many people don't want to talk about child abuse, but it's important that we do discuss this topic. Child abuse is occurring all around us. It is easy to think it's a phenomenon of distressed areas, rougher neighborhoods, and poorer communities. But the fact is that it occurs all across social, religious, and economic boundaries. Abuse is happening to a lot of children, even in what appear to be good homes. Perpetrators are often men and women who are respected and trusted in their communities. And if they're caught, it's often hard for people to comprehend the facts. The facts are that perpetrators are sneaky, children don't often tell, and most people are not trained to recognize abuse. So the abuse continues and children's lives are forever altered. Let's examine what child abuse is and put the different categories of abuse into context. The Federal Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act, CAPTA, defines child abuse and neglect as, at minimum, any recent act or failure to act on the part of a parent or caretaker which results in death, serious physical injury, emotional harm, sexual abuse, or sexual exploitation of a child, or an act or failure to act which presents an imminent risk of serious harm to a child. While federal legislation sets minimum standards, each state has defined its own interpretation of what constitutes child abuse. Throughout the nation, Child Protective Service agencies have been established to help child abuse victims and their families. In addition to these civil service organizations, you may also be required to report suspected abuse to the police. To simplify the process and enable you to report possible abuse to the right agencies, Child Help, a leading national nonprofit organization dedicated to helping victims of child abuse and neglect, has set up a Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD. When you call the hotline, the operator will listen to your information, ask you a series of questions, and provide you with advice. If the situation is a reportable incident, the operator will provide resources, including the emergency contact information for the Child Protective Service agency in your area. But don't wait for an incident to occur. Be prepared and proactive in the fight against child abuse by developing a relationship with your local Child Protective Services agency. Many Child Protective Service agencies offer in-depth training seminars and have other resources available to help you recognize child abuse. Most importantly, having contacts at Child Protective Services might further enable you to help a child if you ever have to report a situation. If you suspect child abuse, contact Child Protective Services and provide them with as much detail about the situation as you can. It is important to note that when you request an investigation, you are not accusing someone of child abuse. All you need is reasonable suspicion to make a report. As long as you report in good faith, you are protected from legal action. Child abuse knows no economic, social, religious, or ethnic boundaries. It's everywhere, and it continues to plague our society and ruin children's lives. Let's review what you can do to save a child. Look for indications of abuse with the children that you work with. Be aware of your responsibility as a mandated reporter. Develop a relationship with the Child Protective Services agency in your community so that you are better prepared to report child abuse. Always report suspected child abuse. If your organization has an internal reporting procedure, follow it, but make sure that Child Protective Services has been notified. If you are unsure who to contact to report child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4A-CHILD. And remember, you only need to have reasonable suspicion that a child might be a victim of abuse to request an investigation.
Hello, I'm John Yusbasic, CEO of Merit Career Development. I want to thank you for watching this video. It's our hope that you found this information helpful. Remember, all you need is reasonable suspicion to report child abuse. And you can always call 1-800-4A-CHILD for further information or to report child sexual abuse. If you have ever known a child that has experienced child abuse, you know that it radically changes their lives. I knew a straight A student that suddenly became a straight F student and did not graduate from high school. He later obtained a GED degree. However, his life has been difficult for more than a decade. We created this video because this is personal to us here at Merit Career Development. Videos like this are funded entirely through the generous support and donations of our patrons. If you found this video helpful, please support our ongoing efforts to combat child abuse by donating to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/meritcd. 10% of our donations go to our continued support of Child Help. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.